Hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome to Wed and Worth It. We're going to have transparent conversations around budgets and walk through the emotional journey that is wedding planning. We're going to discuss the value of investing in meaningful moments and the joy that comes from creating an experience for yourselves and your loved ones. We talk to newly married couples to find out, was it worth it? Hello, welcome to today's episode. We are chatting with Alicia. She is a Arizona wedding planner, also one of my dear friends. I think you're going to quickly see how much she loves her couples, how much fun she is, and how much joy she brings to the entire planning experience. She also decided to flip the script a little bit and ask me some questions on the end, which took me a little bit by surprise, but I was happy to have her on nonetheless. I hope you all enjoy this episode. I'm so excited to welcome our very first in-person guest.
Yay!
Alicia from J-Starr.
Yes.
You're a planner.
I am.
Tell me how you got started.
Okay, so when I was getting married a long time ago, my photographer actually recommended that I apply for an internship with a wedding planning company. She just said that I really loved weddings, and I was like, yeah, who doesn't love weddings? This is the best day ever.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
I've been looking forward to this for my whole life. So I applied for the internship and never looked back.
When was that? How many years ago?
Over 6 years ago.
Over 6 years ago?
Yes. Yeah.
So, and you're local to Arizona?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Arizona?
I'm not. I'm from Michigan, but I've lived here for all of my adult life, so I'm basically a local.
Okay. So, were you ever interested in wedding planning before?
I didn't even think it was a job. I didn't know that people got paid to do something that they love so much. Until that moment.
Until that moment.
That someone could do this and get paid.
Did you have a planner for your wedding? Did you say that?
Okay, so I did not until I met the wedding planner that I interviewed for the internship with.
Oh, okay.
And then she ended up being our wedding planner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I just kind of spent all of the time that I could with her, going to meetings, working in her home office, just soaking up literally everything.
Was there anything that really surprised you about the wedding planning journey as far as working goes? Oh, I didn't realize this went into it.
I think there's just so much behind the scenes that no one hopefully ever finds out on their wedding day.
Yeah. That's why you exist, though.
Exactly, yes. And all of the planning that goes into it beforehand, how you could never have a seamless wedding day without thinking of every second of your wedding day from the moment you wake up until it happens.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how much went into it.
So much goes into it. You are the captain of the ship, and I admire.
I love it so much.
What you do, because I could never be answering to that many people.
It's true. It is a lot of people, a lot of navigating expectations, guiding people, because everybody has an idea of what's going to happen on that day. I recently just had a bride say that she thought she would show up to the wedding venue 5 minutes before the ceremony started, and that's just not what happens.
Yeah,
but you don't know until you've been through it that that's not what happens.
It's not quite how it works.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your couples. Do you feel like there's any sort of similar vibes, or?
I've had a wide range of couples. I've had just planned and experienced so many different incredible people, ranging from probably 18 years old to brides in their 70s.
Oh, wow.
So one common theme with all of my couples, they like to have fun.
Okay.
They love...
I can confirm.
Yes. Yep. They love an experience for their guests. They value really beautiful things, but value relationships with people more so than
Which I think else. That rolls over into the experience part, and the details part of the wedding, because they're wanting to provide this special thing for all their loved ones.
Yeah, investing in things that people are going to remember and just more experiences than anything else.
Yeah. I would say that your couples are also very sweet, kind humans.
Knock on wood, really never had a terrible experience yet, but
No.
I attract just really awesome people in my life. That's how I got here. With my couples too. I really do. Like, just kind humans that, I don't know, I feel like my people find me.
Yeah, they
always
find
do.
you.
They find me.
And they're really awesome people.
They are.
And they throw really fun parties.
It's true.
Okay, so what does the process look like from start to finish?
That's a great question. It's not always a linear process. It's actually never a linear process, just so you know.
It's very bumpy. There's lots of curves and twists.
Because some people come to me with, they've only booked their venue. Some people come to me and they've booked their venue and their photographer, or they have a band that they love and, for sure they want that band, so they have venue and band. And some people don't even have a venue.
That was my next question. I was like, do they you get people who don't have a date or a venue?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there a spot where you like them to come in at, or do you prefer?
Not necessarily. Dream life. They are in love, and that's all that matters. But beyond that, like, a season is obviously great. Knowing, like, when, having a vision in mind of some sort, and we can help guide them to what venue we think would fit that or fit the budget. I would say most of my couples already have their venue. And then I would recommend, like, venue planner, so that we can recommend vendors beyond that. We may have had a terrible experience with someone that you're, like, in love with. So maybe we say, if this is what you like about that person, maybe this person could provide you a better experience.
Okay, that's helpful. So ideally, it is nice for them to either not have the venue or have just booked the venue.
Right. There's never been a situation that we can't recover from. Yeah. It's because then I can provide feedback on whatever vendors you're considering, or make recommendations. If you tell me you love this certain style, instead of you browsing 5 million vendors that we have here in Arizona, I can say, like, here are 3 that really fit what you've got going on.
Which I love that, because I personally get overwhelmed very easily with too many options.
Yes.
And so to have somebody that this isn't their first rodeo, they've done this before, they've worked with multiple people, to come and be like, this is what I think I would like, and then you to be like, okay, then these 3 are your options. I think that is worth its weight in gold, honestly.
And with the internet, which is such a beautiful thing, it can also be a scary thing. There's so many options. There's a point in the planning process where you have to just, like, shut it down. Yeah. We can't think of one more idea.
Google, no more Pinterest.
Nothing. Yeah. And you never know so someone could have the most beautiful website, the most beautiful curated Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. That's not always a reflection of who they are as a person, or what their work truly is, or their energy on a wedding day. So having someone with experience.
Who do you think, because I feel like that matters more for some vendors than for others, how it is actually working with them as a human being? Yeah. What vendors do you think that is important for versus not?
Great question. Photography for sure. That person is going to be all up in your business all day long.
All day long.
All day.
Not going anywhere.
No. And then DJ or band or music is the other one. Because they really just, like, carry the flow of the night. If you have someone with, like, a kind of obnoxious personality, but you're really reserved, maybe that's not a great fit.
And it's funny too. I like to say, the planner's the captain, and then I'm co-captain. And so I'm in charge from when I arrive, which is, like, around when hair and makeup is finishing up, until grand entrance. And then once grand entrance hits, the DJ or the band, they become co-captain.
So true.
Yeah. I transfer the hat of responsibility. You now get to let your hat go. Yes. Okay, so once they have their venue and date and what is the timeline or, like, the process of booking vendors after that?
Again, it's like a maze sometimes, because a lot of times we'll start with, like, photo, because you can only do one per day. Yeah. So if they really have their heart set on someone or a certain style, someone in a certain budget, there's maybe not endless options. So we start there. Start with people that can do one event per day.
Okay.
And then once we have those core vendors.
Does DJ fall in that too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. DJ, photo, video, if video is super important. And then we kind of work on the more design aspects.
Okay. And once the design aspects come in, do your couples usually have like a vision that they're going for?
Most of the time. It's super helpful when they do. Some
but
don't.
What is helpful for them to have?
Like a Pinterest board of things that they like, or even just like 5 photos of things that they like.
Okay.
And we usually start with florals and then bring in like rentals, linens, things like that.
After that.
Yeah.
Okay. If it was a perfect world, when would everything be like wrapped up in a bow and now we're just waiting for like the wedding weekend?
At minimum 6 weeks, but maybe like 3 months would be so good.
That'd be so good.
Because you have all of this hard planning, right? You're like in the beginning, it's hot and heavy. You're booking things, signing stuff, paying a lot of money to people. And then there's like a little bit of a lull. But then in the end, it gets kind of like heavy again because you've got your RSVPs coming in. You're sending out invitations. Now you're figuring out how many chairs you need.
Seating charts.
Yes.
I just see like a lot of Post-it notes. And I do love Post-it notes, but not in seating chart form.
Fair.
That's not fun. Okay. This is actually a genuine question from a photographer. When are you like nailing down the timeline piece?
Also, great question. So I like to start, which maybe not everyone agrees with this, but I like to start from like day one.
Else.
Yeah. I want to know when I'm booking a photographer, I want to know like what time the sunset is, what time the ceremony is, and start working out those details. That way, when you're at your hair and makeup trial, maybe like 3 months before your wedding, they know what time you need to be ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like everything, it's a puzzle.
It is a puzzle. And I know that hair and makeup is usually what would be holding up a photographer from beginning. And then we're usually the ones that are holding up catering.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a domino effect.
It totally is. So from the second that I start working with a couple, I'm already thinking about the timeline. I like to have it like complete, again, the same, like 3 months would be super awesome, and then just have like few final details, but 6 weeks before.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that because I feel like before I was primarily working with planners, that was how I learned, oh, that's my job. Like I'm in charge of the light here, and I'm in charge of the education piece. And so when the planner comes in and is like, we got this on lock, I just need to make sure you need this much time for details, this much time for sunset, family's about this big, how much time,
exactly.
Let me know for sure.
And I prefer to send my rough draft and say, okay, this is what I've got, this is what is working well with hair and makeup, they need to finish at this time because they have to be somewhere else or whatever they have to do. Does this work for you? And you may come back and say like, can I have 15 more minutes for family? Or it all sounds great.
Usually it all sounds great.
Yeah.
The only time I feel like I get stressed out beforehand is family portraits. Always. Seeing the time. You know, we have like 20 minutes scheduled, and then there's like 2 full pages of portraits. And I'm like, that doesn't...
We love a good buffer. We love a buffer.
We do love a buffer. It's like, I just feel like a lot of the education I've done in the past is like every single grouping of people that you have for family portraits, or in general, like it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to like move people around, shuffle people in and out.
I feel like we had a lot of smaller weddings, which are so beautiful and just like intimate and personal, seeing like huge, amazing, incredible parties again, which is so fun.
People need that.
They do. There's a place for both of them, for sure. There's not a wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
But I like the big parties are definitely...
I feel like there's something about getting like sweaty on a dance floor with a bunch of people celebrating a love story.
Yeah.
That's so special and unique for that couple. Actually, can I tell you?
Maybe.
Can I tell you one of my most recent like favorite parts of a wedding day, and it's actually kind of an unpopular opinion, but I've come to really like it.
Am I gonna hate it?
You might. I don't know. Toast.
You love that?
Yes. Okay. Because I feel like
they can be done well. They are done well often.
They're also,
but it's memorable when they're not done well.
Yes, it is memorable when they're not done well. But I was thinking about it, and I feel like a lot of the couples I work with tend to be a little bit more reserved and like humans that kind of fly under the radar.
Yeah.
And so there's this like opportunity to just put on public display like how wonderful these people are and how excited they are that these two people have found each other. And I feel like I get to know the couple even more hearing some of these silly stories.
So true.
And I've come to actually really enjoy toasts. And there's a big thing like in the wedding industry that's like it doesn't need to be, and it's true, it doesn't need to be longer than like 2-3 minutes. I can't remember.
We don't really need not like 3 to 5. We don't need a PowerPoint presentation.
No.
And we don't really need like 15 speakers on the wedding day. So yes,
I agree completely with all of those points. But
I do love this, like getting to know them a little bit deeper.
Yes.
During toast.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, I'm not naming names, but it was a wedding we worked together that I was like, oh, these are like, this is so sweet. I'm so happy for them. Not very often in your life do you get to have people stand up and speak such sweet things over you. So, anyways, that's my unpopular opinion. Okay, but big parties.
Yes, big parties. We love a big party. Something else that I don't know if it's really a new thing, but I have a lot of couples lately that are doing like ceremony, obviously dinner, and then like transitioning to like an after party kind of vibe where like if you don't want to stay, maybe like people are tired and they want to go, they can go. But then there's this dance party all night long.
Is it at the same venue?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that usually when, well, I feel like the whole second dress thing.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
But sometimes dress beforehand. And also like, well, I feel like late night snacks, that's totally before after party vibes.
Sometimes
I'm usually
at the
gone
same
by
time.
then.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of late night snacks. Yeah. So yeah, after party, super fun. I feel like it's less pressure too. Like when everybody's there, they're on the dance floor, bride and groom are still like making sure people are happy. After party, like no rules. We're just having fun. Bride might be on the dance floor all by herself, but it's so fun. Yeah.
That's what you're there for, though. What's the term? It's like 2 sheets to the wind or something like that. I don't know. Did I totally mess that up?
I think you're fine.
Probably messed it up. That is fun. I feel like I've been seeing more after party vibes.
Yeah.
And it's just that's a super cool experience. I mean, why not keep the party going?
Right. Agree.
What about wedding weekend events? So like rehearsal, welcome dinner. Are there like farewell brunches? I've done some brunches, but like, is it called a farewell brunch? Or? Yeah, that's
after wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you seeing anything like for those types of events? Are you seeing more or less?
Yeah, I would say, okay, most of my clients are destination. I would say like maybe 75% or more. Something else that I'm so loving is people will be like hosting for the whole weekend.
Yes, I love that.
And so yes, I've got pickleball tournaments going.
What?
We've got like breakfast, lunch, dinner, lobby, drinks later.
And there's like a whole itinerary.
A whole itinerary for the whole weekend, which I think is so fun.
I want a pickleball tournament.
I know. Yeah. There's just so many ways, so many opportunities for the couple to connect with their guests outside of just the wedding day. Because as we know, the wedding day goes so fast. And you want to say hi to everybody, but if you're having 150 to 200 guests at your wedding, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Especially to give them like a true moment.
Yeah. That's so hard. I mean, you're pulled in every direction on the wedding day and it goes by so fast. Yes. So fast. Even just like for me. It goes really fast. It goes so fast. And I'm not the one getting
Thank God for photos.
I know. Right? Okay. So if there was one way, or maybe 2, I don't know, ways for a couple to elevate their experience with you, or maybe for their wedding in general, since you haven't planned everything, what would that be?
I think mostly what I just touched on, like finding ways to connect with all of your people, because there's probably never going to be another time that you have all of those people in the same space.
It's true. I feel like it's a little bit, should I talk about this? I don't know. A little bit morbid, but I feel like the longer that I've done this,
came into my head too.
There's been like multiple times where parent has passed away, grandparent has passed away, and the wedding day is the last like nice photo that they have of that person. Yeah. And they're genuinely enjoying the day. And it's like the one end of the spectrum of life, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't get those moments very often.
You don't.
So I love the idea of like extending that into a weekend and creating experiences, just like opportunities to be together.
Yeah. Yep. And get to like actually connect with people instead of just 1 second on the wedding day. So
yeah. Okay. I want you to tell me why you're worth it.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you did. Just tell me why you're worth it. But
because I'm awesome.
You're so awesome.
No.
You're so fun.
Okay, I'll be the first to admit when I was getting married. Okay, first of all, I didn't even know a wedding planner was a real job. Besides that, I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, I love this. This is what I love. I can do it on my own. I could not do it on my own. The second that I got into, like, true wedding planning, like, there's no way.
I feel like we have a lot of destinations here. So especially if you're planning from afar.
Totally.
You need somebody boots on the ground.
Yes. Back to, like, the internet, you need someone to, like, guide you.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Vouch for the team of people that will be surrounding you on your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're worth it.
Well, I only came on this podcast to interview you.
Okay. You're so funny.
Okay, what do you think the most overlooked part of wedding planning is?
Okay. The most overlooked part of the wedding planning process?
Yeah, wedding planning in general.
Okay, let's go back to that one. Hold on. I'm forming thoughts as we speak. Go to the next.
My next question. Okay. What is your favorite part of being in the wedding industry?
Oh, that one's easy. Okay. I feel like I've gotten to know the most incredible people. Obviously, you're one of them. You're at the top of that list. So I was a teacher before, and I taught little children how to use words, like for their very first words, like mom, dad, they didn't know. So my background's in teaching children who are deaf and hard of hearing. Okay. And I loved the kids, but it was a very thankless job. And I worked tirelessly. And I feel like in the wedding industry, I still work tirelessly, but there's a piece of gratitude between the vendor team with the couple. Oh, it's like making me emotional. But I have couples that I follow, like some of my very first couples that I cheer on. And so the couples that I meet and the people I get to work with, someone once said, I think everybody in the wedding industry has a big heart. Obviously, there's some crappy people out there, but for the most part, I have found that to be true. The wedding industry is filled with people who genuinely love, and
I love so much. It's my favorite.
That's what, and for me, I'm like, families, they kind of like, they stress me out a little bit to shoot them, but I'm like, you just give me two people who are in love and some good light, and I'm good. Yeah. I'm so happy. I couldn't be more content. And so to have this energy of gratitude going back and forth both ways, I think is very unique about the wedding industry.
We get to witness like the happiest day of someone's life. Just the energy and like they're never gonna be this happy.
Yeah. I know, it's literally the best. It's the best day ever. And we get to play such integral part of that.
It's like watching a movie of the happiest day ever. Every single day when you go to work. It's awesome.
It is. It's so awesome. And yes, there's things that happen behind the scenes but I kind of like almost love that part too. I love like the thinking on the fly and like, oh, this space isn't available. What are we going to do? You have a bridal party of 15 people behind you and they're waiting for you to tell them what's going to happen. And it's go time. We don't have time to figure out another look. Like, so the pressure too feels, I don't know, there's something that's exciting about it, keeping you on your toes. And then also like the stuff kind of like goes on behind the scenes. That's kind of fun too. Like,
it's super fun.
What I think is interesting about the wedding industry is a lot of times you show up on the wedding day and you haven't worked with so-and-so, somebody else that's there. It's a brand new team of people. You have to work seamlessly together.
Totally. No one can know
that you've never met before. Yeah, I don't know this videographer from Adam. And yet we have to figure out this like dance of working together. Usually I'm like, just slap me if I'm in your way.
That works too. If I leave my stool where you need to be, move it. Just move it.
Move the stool. Yeah, Pepe the stepping. Yeah.
Okay, my last question If you could interview anyone for this podcast, who would it be?
It would be you.
Oh, I'm so happy! I was hoping that was your answer. That was the only acceptable answer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just loved getting to know you.
Oh
You're my favorite people.
You're
Friend before planner. Okay, let me go back to that other question. What was it?
What do you think the most overlooked part of wedding planning is? And maybe just parts that you think people don't think about before they have to.
I think a lot of times things get lost in the details, and I think bringing it back down to what you said earlier, it's the relationships first that matter. At the end of the day, you're doing this event for you and your future spouse, and also for these people that you love the most. So take away the Pinterest, take away the Google, take away the latest trend that you're seeing, and focus on how will you and your future spouse enjoy this day, this weekend, the most with the people that you love. And two, as far as like relationships go with your vendor team as well. There's so many people that you are going to work so intimately with, and it's such a very unique, small, special time of your life. Choose carefully.
Yes, I love it.
That's what I would say, now that I had a moment to think about it.
That's so good.
Okay, thank you so much
for
joining us in the studio. And I will catch you around town.
That sounds good. I can't wait.
Okay. Bye, Alicia.
Bye.